What happens if you don't express your emotions? Does it have an impact on your health and on your life? What does this river has to do with emotions? In this video, I will share some concrete examples with you how big an impact it actually does have if you don't express your emotions. My name is MichaelPluszek and welcome to this video. Have you ever asked yourself if experiences from your early childhood has an impact on your life today? Has an impact on your health, your results in your life and your business? Hang on, because by the end of this video, I will show you and you will understand exactly how great an impact those unexpressed emotions has in your life. I hope this video will help you, first of all, to begin to be aware of your emotional health, but also to understand how important it is actually not only to be aware, but also to start the process of releasing emotions. And if you like this video, please give it a like. Please leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you'll get notified when I release a new video at least every Thursday. In my last videos, I did share a couple of experiences that I had in my early life. Experience that I was not able to express. I was not able to express my emotions. I was not able to release them. And those emotions has been inside me for the last 30, now maybe even 40 years. I'll make sure to put the link to those videos in the description below. If you have had childhood experiences that made and was not as good as they were supposed to be, go watch those videos and just feel inside what you feel. Now, these episodes in my life, they had a big, I would say huge impact. The fact that I didn't express them, what happened to me was it took my life in a very bad direction for many years. Because what I did, instead of releasing the emotions, look at that video, I'll put the link here. Instead of releasing those emotions, expressing them, I began to run away from my emotions because I didn't like them. They hurted, they were full of pain, and I felt so bad when I had those negative emotions. For me, it was shame and guilt, things like that. So what I did was I built a wall around my heart. I started early teenage ages not to express my emotions anymore. And for this video, there are two things that really had and made a great impact in my life: hiding my emotions instead of expressing them. Number one, as I mentioned, it took my life in a bad direction. I became a bad guy. My heart was protected. I had a big, thick wall around it, around all the emotions. And on the outside, I was just a tough guy. This led to very bad things, starting with little graffiti, a little stealing, then fighting, drinking, drugs, more drinking, more drugs, more fighting, more stealing, and even worse things. And I'm coming back to those in later videos. But as I look back now, that was one huge impact for me not expressing, for me not look myself in the eyes and talk with somebody. But I was a kid. How can a kid at 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 years do these things? So I'm not blaming myself. And if you have any experiences from your childhood that's not good enough for a kid, don't blame yourself. That's one important thing. So one thing that came from not expressing my emotions was the bad guy. But the second thing was, for many years I went to the doctor all the time. I was afraid I had a tumor in my head. I was afraid I had cancer in my throat. I was afraid that I had something going on with my heart. I was afraid that I had cancer in my stomach. I was afraid of many things. And I've been searched with scanners, with I don't know what that's called in English, but cameras down the throat, all the way down, and also from the other way, looking if there was anything. And till this date, doctors have not been able to find anything at all. So how can this happen? How can a human being feel like there's something wrong with me? I got this pain going on. I got this headache going on. It feels like my brain is not working. It feels like there's a tumor inside of my brain. How can this be? The bad guy and all the doctor visitors, I know as a fact now, again, for me that was because I didn't express my emotions, my feelings in my early childhood. So in my 40s, when I began to become aware that something is not right here, I began to look at myself, look at my life, look at my path in my life. Look at why do I have all these nearly bankruptcy, divorce, and a lot of bad stuff going on. And I realized again, all of this was connected with my not expressing my emotions, stuck emotions inside my body. In 2012, when I stopped working with a coffee shop company, I also realized the same year at a special event in London that one thing that I really wanted to was to inspire, to teach people to live a better life. Help people, help entrepreneurs to make a bigger impact. And what I began to see when I did seminars, when I did speakings, but mostly seminars, was that we had like a headline. The headline was great success or achieve XX or double your income or something like this. But the fact was that when on the seminars, when we began to dive in to things and the right context was there, it was a safe environment. Well, I began to see that people had a lot of stuck emotions inside of them. And I will share a couple of examples with you from people who had hurt, pain in their stomach, pain somewhere else in their body, and how they released it during the seminar or those seminars. Before I dive in to the seminars and releasing, I got a couple of examples for you here. Look at this river. And just imagine fresh water running down the river. Vital water. Just imagine the sound of the water and air mixing together. Fresh, vital, and very healthy. Got it? All right. Then look at this picture. And imagine to yourself, this is a small water hole, maybe on a field, and maybe during summer. And there's no flow like there was in the river. The water is just still there. Just imagine what will happen. It will become maybe green in the top. Maybe the water will become darker and darker. Things are beginning to grow in there, but maybe you can imagine it doesn't seem to be healthy things growing in there. Maybe it's even going to smell a little, this water hole. With those two pictures in mind, think about your own body. Think about all the blood running around inside your body. And if it's all good, all healthy, it will run like the fresh river. You'll feel vital, fresh, alive, kicking, lots of energy. If it's not good, think about the water hole and think about the summer and think about no flow. And that's exactly what happens inside the body when everything is not okay. Now let me share a couple of testimonials or examples here from people who went to my seminars and what they experienced. I got it on my computer here, so I will read it up for you. So I'll make sure I get everything for you here. So let's go with it. I found her, the amazing woman that I had forgotten existed. I'd hoped to find her, and I can't say that I have now. This is the best version of me. Being able to say I love myself and mean it, look myself in the eyes, is the most beautiful gift I have ever been giving. Love from Pernille. Let's take another one here. Experience the boost of energy. And I saw the girl who had been hiding and had probably become invisible or lonely. Here I got some peace of mind, sparkle in my eyes, and a huge laughing push in the direction I wanted to live. It would not have happened without a visit here. Ulla. A little grey dog turns into a beautiful swan. Simone. Now, there's one more here. Let's take this with me too. I have long been walking around with a knot in my stomach. I had repeatedly been to the doctor, but there was nothing physically in the way. There has been a miracle inside me. Never have I been so bursting with energy. Never have I felt such an amazing calm. When I entered this room, I was not aware I had taken the right step because I did not know anything else. Only the body and things that had never really succeeded for me. But I broke my wall. I broke through it. I will be honest and say that I would never have been able to break down my wall and maintain my goal if it had not been for Michael, who has given me the technique so I can become the greatest ever to me. Love from Stine. Now, these great testimonials, these are what people felt when they went out of the room after we did seminars. What happened was, same as for me, they had unexpressed emotions going on inside of themselves. Guilt, shame, things from their childhood, not being good enough, not being able to express all of this. And those things, our body remembers those. So remember again the river and the waterhole. The women that I just shared with you here, they went from the waterhole, they released emotions, and they had the river going on inside of them instead. I know this might sound a little, can this be true? So I went a little on with this because I've experienced hundreds of people during the years that I did seminars that experienced the same thing. They released emotions, stuck emotions, and they felt the flow again. They got hope again in their life. And two things we did. The first thing is that most people are so used to suffer that they don't even know how to not suffer. And I've seen this with all the people that I work with that started to release. They were like, whoa, what's happening inside me? I've never experienced this before. The second thing was that I was very curious some years ago to see, well, one thing is what we feel. One thing is what happens with the result in the outside world. But I had an idea what actually happens in the inside world. Can we measure this somehow? So what I did was I created an event called the Vital Energy Camp. And I gathered a team around me, experts in their different fields. And we created this camp. And what we did, and let me just tell you, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician or anything at all. I just work with people, I dive into these things, and I help them to create better lives. What we did at the camp, there was a professional doing this. When we started the camp, we measured the participants' blood We actually took blood samples, put it on a screen, saw the blood when we started, and when we finished the camp, we did the same thing. And I was actually very curious, and so was the participants. Would there be a difference inside the body from day number 1 till day number 4? Now, what we did and what we worked on these 4 days, we only ate greens, no meat at all, vegetarian food, and we prepared it ourselves. We drank lots of water, did different exercises, yes, but the most important exercises, when I talk about the unexpressed emotions here, were the exercises helping people to release unexpressed emotions. So, I don't know if you've ever seen it, and I'll show a picture here for you. In a healthy body, we've got blood cells, it's like small bubbles, and they're just like flowing around like the river inside the body, and maybe sometimes they bump into each other, but like soap bubbles, nothing will happen. It's just like they're flowing around these bubbles. If we are not totally healthy in our body, first of all, these blood cells, they will begin to stock, they will begin to clutter. And think about the water hole here. And also different kind of medicine we had in our lives and different stress and all of this. It will also show in the body. And we saw all of these things. We saw the clogged blood cells. We saw all the stress and old medicine and other stuff that the body couldn't release in the blood on day 1. On day 4, after eating greens, drinking lots of water, and releasing emotions. And before I share this result, I can tell you it was not because of rest, because the participants, they were always like, whoa, Michael, could we just have a little longer break? Could we sleep a little bit more? But after eating, I put them in the room again. So it was not because they got enough rest. And we went late night and early up the day after. So it wasn't because they got a very long night's sleep. What happened with their blood was from clogged blood cells and a lot of stress and all of this. In the photos, in the pictures, on day number 4, every participant showed very big improvements in their blood after just 4 days. Some of them cleaned all the garbage out of their blood. And we saw that on the photos. All of them saw big, or I would even say huge improvements in the way their blood cells, they flowed. And they felt it. So when they saw the pictures before and after, they were like, whoa, I feel like this. I feel vital. I feel fresh. I feel energy inside of me. I feel healthy. I don't have this pain anymore in my stomach. I don't have the headache. Things like that. So I got so much proof, and we did, that one thing is how we feel, that we feel lighter. We feel more vital, we feel more fresh, more energy, more healthy. But the second thing is I got proof that it actually works like that. So, and that was only 4 days. And remember, this is what's going on inside of our bodies, inside of your body all the time. The blood is running around. And you would be probably scared if you saw blood samples from a person who is sick, who's not healthy. And maybe you're even sitting now and thinking, wow, how am I inside? And probably that would be a good thing for you to start thinking about it. So what do I want to share? What do I actually want you to think about or learn from this video? First of all, one good thing is drink a lot of water. Second of all, eat healthy food. But from my experience now working in total with thousands of people, this is not the only thing. There's one big thing, and that's your emotions. Your thoughts and emotions, actually. So start to be more aware of what's going on inside of you, here and in your body. Listen to yourself. As busy entrepreneurs, we just run from one thing to another thing all the time, or most entrepreneurs do. Stressed with all the things we have to remember, serving our clients or customers, paying the bills and all of that. And also having a family. All of these things have an impact on us. So start being aware. Maybe even set your clock to a couple of times, 10 times a day, and just stop. You've seen me do this before. Breathe. Just feel yourself. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What's going on inside of me? Just stop and do this. And the second thing is, don't punish yourself or push yourself too much with this. Meaning maybe you will be aware that your thoughts are not healthy, that you're thinking a lot of negative and stressed thoughts. Don't punish yourself. Just be aware of it. Just be like, thank you, now I know. Same thing with the emotions. Maybe you stop for a moment, you breathe, and you become aware. Wow, I feel stressed in my body, or I feel a pain in my neck, or something like that. Well, don't be afraid. Just feel it. Just let the body is trying to tell you something. Just feel it. Just be aware that it's there and say it's all okay. Obviously, if you're very afraid that you have some kind of sickness, well, don't go and think about it. Just call the doctor and find out. If it is some kind of sickness, then you can do something about it. If it's not, if you're healthy, then you can stop thinking about it. Makes sense? I hope this makes sense to you. I hope somehow it will do something inside of you. I hope it will make you stop and think for a moment, or maybe feel there is something inside of you. And I will post more videos about these things. Please, if you like this video, give it a like, and also leave a comment for me. What is one action that you will do from here in your life that will help you, that will help you become more healthy, help you become more vital, and I promise you this will have a huge impact on your business too. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so I'm sure, and you're sure, you'll get notified when there's new videos from me. I'll put the link to the things I talked about in the description below the video, and also there's a link to my social media, so you want to contact with me, well, feel free. I would love to be in contact with you. And I look forward to the comments, and I look forward to replying on them. So thank you for watching. This is Michael here, and make it a great day and be awesome.